This feels like a much more solid bike. Feels better fit and finish. It feels nicer and cleaner all around, and I'm kind of really happy with it. I just want to take a little time and talk about the Good Times Demo Tour in general. It was sponsored by Kawasaki, and ultimately, which is the guys who brought the bikes and the trailer and everything and set up the event, but it was done at the Sky Powersports Coco in conjunction with them. I just wanted to say, as far as the actual setup of everything, it was very spacious, it was space conscious. Everything was organized, the bikes themselves, everything was gassed up. There wasn't any problems with any bikes. Everything was maintained. No broken levers or anything like that. So that was good to see. They were very inviting as far as coming in to see what they had and the information. They were very friendly in that sense as well on both sides. Informative, you know, they told me which bikes to look at, what I had, what I may want to try that's different from mine. The Kawasaki people themselves were very knowledgeable about the bikes. They let me know what's going on with the bike, how I felt about the bike, what I wanted to change about the bike, or what I thought the bike could add in order to make it a better bike. They were kind with me and the people around us, you know, never sneering or give us any issues or a bad attitude. They were expressive, so they were very interested in what we were doing, and they were very inquisitive in the sense of finding out what we liked and what we didn't like, and particular changes that we would love to do to the bikes. Always the staff at Sky Powersports, very kind, very friendly. They're always looking to see what we can do, they can do better to make the event better and themselves better. Particularly the GM Joe, I've had a couple interactions with him, and he's been an absolute wonderful gentleman. And Gannon and Parts, who I've had a couple interactions with, and has been a trooper, an absolute wonderful gentleman. And I highly recommend dealing with both of them if you're in the area for Coco. And honestly, I'm in Central Florida, and I travel out there just because I get good service. So I highly recommend, and I thank them, and I thank you for checking this out, and I hope you enjoy the video. Here we are stepping onto the Ninja Z650RS. I wanted the Z900. Z900 was taken. The Z650 it is. Let's see how it is. Looks like a parallel twin. No quick shifter. No adjustable suspension. It has a helmet lock. Cool. Bars as a partial triple clamps. It's a nice little cafe racer. No shielding, none of that extra jazz. Oh, I can just swing a leg over that son of a bitch. Man, this thing is tiny. Man, this thing is tiny. Does not turn very much. You kind of stretch out a little bit to get onto them bars. Very stiff transmission. Wow, that's a whole different transmission from the 1000. Let's see how this feels. Honestly, I'm almost bottoming out the suspension, but that's expected. It's a stock 650 with a 300-pound man with all its gear on. So let's have a good time. Beautiful silver. Everybody's having a good time. Man, those foot controls are back up there too. I do not like that. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. Well, let's go for another ride. Have a good time. Enjoy ourselves. Set up the mirrors. They are partially set up.
Right,
I'll adjust it as I go.
We are ready to ride. If
Here we go.
Case, I just need to see thumbs. We're looking good. All riders, follow the leader out of here.
TFT display, barely in between the digital, or sorry, analog gauges. It's kind of nice. Have some analog. Kind of nice to have some analog gauges. Well, there we are, stalling out to begin with. These guys blocked us off. Oh man, this thing feels like a fucking go-kart. Wow, this is a tiny little bike. Ooh, you really feel the wind up there. So I feel naked out here, literally. I think this is a naked cafe racer. No quick shifter, but it is a nice shifter. I love these controls. All the controls so far I've seen on these bikes have been adjustable and they feel solid. The brakes feel solid, the clutch feels solid, and this one in particular, the transmission feels extra stout. Very, very solid. Well, I guess solid. Very crisp, very positive engagement when shifting up and down. Second gear, there we go. First gear, seems like neutral's gonna be, oh, neutral's an absolute cinch to find. The brakes are very good. Very good. Oh man, the feel is great. They're nice and tight. I enjoy that. We're gonna have a good time. Somebody's on that 300 SM. Man, I wanted to ride that son of a bitch. Here we go again. Non-adjustable suspension, so it's kind of flopping around. It does have a decent amount of power. It's really going to kind of pull out. It honestly feels about the same, if not a little more than the Versys 1000. I'm just getting used to this clutch release point. I think this is a hydraulic clutch because it feels much more potent. The few hydraulic clutches I have ridden feel like this, where it feels like yeah, it feels hydraulic. It feels like it's being powered by something else other than a cable. A cable for me is ultra smooth. This is smooth, but it feels wet, if that makes sense. Right mirror's adjusted fine. Man, these mirrors are terrible, if I must admit. You know what, I don't really need mirrors. I do kind of feel naked up front, very exposed. I'm getting a lot of wind. Not too far leaned over where it kind of makes a nice difference where I cut through the wind. It's kind of, I'm a parachute right now, and I'm not too sure if I like being a parachute. Right now we're going in, I can't even tell, 45 miles an hour, which is a nice speed, but it's nothing to brag home about. We're going to make a right up here at Clear Lake. It does dive quite nicely. Below speed maneuvers aren't that bad. You do feel a good sense of the wind, which is nice, but honestly, I don't think this is going to be much of a highway bike or even a Florida bike. I mean, Florida's not really twisty turnies under 45 kind of stuff. It's straight roads, 50, 55, 75, 85, 90, 100 miles an hour sometimes, and you got to sit in that wind for an hour and a half to get where you want to go. And I'm just not too sure if this is the bike for me to get me where I want to go doing this stuff. Great little bike, fun bike. It feels like it's great. Feels like it's fun. Seems pretty nimble. I can toss it left and right. The suspension is a little rough for me personally, but I'm a big fat man, and this is probably a sub $10,000 motorcycle. I don't think this is more than $10,000 to $12,000. I'm not going to check the price. I'll probably put it up on a TV computer thingy when I do actually check it out. Overall, not bad though. Very linear. It gets on and off the power very nicely. Doesn't seem to have much as far as features, a horn, no cruise control, no quick shifter. I would assume maybe it has ABS. It has gasoline, which is a good thing. Back brake works great. But these controls, man, I just feel so tight. I'm 5'11", I weigh 282 pounds. With my gear and everything, we're nearing at about 300 pounds. I was a much larger man, but I have lost a decent amount of weight. And still on this bike, I feel kind of cramped. I mean, not excessively where I want to get it off this minute. But if I had to do more than maybe an hour and a half of riding, I want to stretch out my legs at least. Not the most comfortable position, I must admit.
but it does feel quite solid. The bike feels a lot better fit and finish than the Versys 1000. The Versys 1000 was very tingy, had a lot of vibrations and harmonic distortions throughout the actual product itself as it revved through the rev range. This feels like a much more solid bike. It feels better fit and finish. It feels nicer and cleaner all around, and I'm kind of really happy with it. We'll see how the rest of these go. What's it go next with? I'm not too sure, but we're going to find a couple other bikes and have some fun. So far, this is the Z650XR, something like that. They're a cafe racer 650.